Hello YouTube and welcome back to my newest ArtaView. There is one last big tournament ahead for the American players of you. Yeah, Seattle is in by recording 2 days ahead, and I thought because I will not compete there, I just give you my conclusion about what I would bring and how green purple for in especially is positioned, if you ask me. And maybe it helps you a little bit for the last refining of your deck lists, or to just hear my insight. If you watched the interview that I had with Lorcana Decklist, then you saw that I'm really high on the new aggro version of our deck, because I think it's better positioned in the meta. And if I would go to Seattle, I would be really struggling now between green purple and red purple, because red purple is also a deck I really like and is well positioned, but green purple is my baby. So I would probably go with green purple, because I think green purple is really, really good positioned, especially the aggro version of the deck. If you bring a deck, then you should ask yourself what this deck should do in an expected metagame. So you can find out why you bring this deck. Why you bring this deck. And green purple, the purpose for green purple, or the goal or the aim, or how do you want to call it, is to really consistently 2-0ing red blue and red purple and split everything else. So that's the goal. I know that's we have a game with variants, and you can be 2-0'd by a red purple. You can be 2-0'd by a green purple, by a red blue. Sometimes, very rare, but sometimes. And you can also 2-0 a steel song or a green steel or something. Because I think our matchup spread is quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. But especially with this version, we have nearly a better win rate against nearly everything. Just the deck feels a little bit less less reactive, or how can you say, less you have less answers to things. But if you have less answers to we talked about it with LD last week. If you have less answers, doesn't mean your win rate goes down, because, for example, an aggro deck or some decks like this don't have answers to anything. But if aggro is the thing to go, they will, of course, either way have a good win rate. So the pure existence of answers doesn't make a deck strong. Of course, decks like red purple or red blue that are control decks, or a kind of control decks, should have many answers to things, because that's the nature of the deck. But we were always a little bit of a middle of the thing and a deck. So and it's not in the nature of our deck to have many answers like Isma or You're Welcome or something. And I found really out that Cursed Merfolk and Banzai win many games, especially on the play. And I think they are the way to go. And that's really not, these two cards are really not what red blue want to see. And also against decks like green yellow or something, they surprisingly have sometimes really problems with aggressive starts. I mean, you could say, Muses, but for instance, Banzai, they have to play Muses, what's turn 4, and then they need some kind of strength reducing, like Paint the Roses or so, to bounce it. And the problem with green-yellow, let's do it later. I want to go over the matchups, and sorry for taking that, but because I want to order that by the decks that I think are high presented. So I will start with red blue. Red blue is probably, arguably, I don't know, but could be the most played deck. Some people consider it as the best deck in the format. It's hard to say. And this version is really what red blue does not want to see. I have a really good win rate against red blue, even on the draw. You force way more B preps than with the other version, and then you can punish often with Queen's Castle. I wouldn't say it's hard to lose games, but it gets way rarer to lose games against them. Against red purple, it's tougher now because for red purple I have to go over my build exactly. If we want to tech against red purple, then our deck got way worse. Yeah, it just got way worse against red purple. Lai was an exceptionally good card against them, and some numbers we raised, like Kid doesn't do that much in that matchup, and Banzai, for example, is a really bad card into red purple most of the time because Sisu just checks this, and you can't quest most of the time when Sisu is on the board, and it's not very useful in that matchup. And we cut the Lyles, which were absolutely great. So it got way harder. It was nearly an auto win matchup, but now it got way harder. And you could also play a 1-1 against a really high skilled red purple, but it should still be a matchup. You try to 2-0 Clarabelle. They don't like Clarabelle. They don't like Merfolk. And be careful a bit with your evasives. In my build, I played just to get over it. The Locana decklist version was Force Hiss and 2 crabs and no Pegasus, and I play now 1 Pegasus and 1 more crab just to have 9 1-drops and 2 less Hiss. Also, LD version had the Chromicon, and I really tested it again. I don't like it. If you like the Chromicon, please play it. Many people are high on it. I always, when I test it, it's bad, and I cut it immediately. I don't know. Maybe I have to play more with it, but it feels so bad from behind, and I don't know. So, but it's of course playable, and if you like it, then please play it. Yeah. So against red purple, it's just a tough value matchup, and yeah, both players can win, but it's very skill dependent. So for me, in my approach, is always trying, of course, to 2-0 them, because yeah, if we want to reach top card in a DLC, our goal should be to outplay some purple matchups with this deck. What's possible with Clarabelle, and it goes much. It's much about value, and yeah, try to. I mean, we played with all these cards for a long time now, and nothing changed too much. So be confident and beat them. Next is Green Steel. Please don't overreact to Green Steel. It's a bad matchup, but I think to say it's a bad matchup, it's like 45% win rate, I would say, in general. On the play, it's really. I would not say it's hard to lose, but we are favored. Kid on the play versus Kid on the draw is just a complete different on the world against Green Steel. We can Kid their morph, we can Kid their Diablo shift a turn earlier, so they won't shift maybe because it feels bad for them to shift turn 2, while on the next turn we can just bounce it. So the matchup is so much play draw dependent, and we have many tools for the characters. We have Ursula, we have Elsa, we have many tools. But of course, you all know that the nuts draw of green steel feels unfair and is kind of unfair. And we will still lose sometimes on the play, and we will win sometimes on the draw. But I would hope, and I would think maybe because green steel is a hard deck to pilot, I think, and maybe some people and Bucky in the past was not that hard to pilot. I think maybe it's arguably, but it was easier than this green steel. And if you face a not very good pilot of green steel, you're very likely to throw them. So yeah, just be confident and play against them. It's all about quad control. Sometimes if they have Prince John, you have to empty your hand to not give them infinite value. If you get your Ursula shift, then it's often GG. And yeah, try to save your answers for the Diablos. And the Beast morph shift is not that scary because the thing is, if they beast on the morph, they never want to exert the beast. So you're really free to quest with everything. Imagine you play Merfolk turn 1, Banzai turn 2, they morph the beast. And then they don't quest or exert it, you quest with these two. What do they do now? Do they go into the Merfolk with the beast? Because they can't let you quest forever. And it's not good, of course, but it's still winnable. Don't never give up. That's very important. Never give up in that matchup. They race really slowly, and it's winnable. Yeah, green yellow is a bit is better, of course, and is I would say it's hard to say, but in general I would say we are slightly favored. They have really struggled, like I said before, against aggressive openings sometimes, and always remember they have only one character that is meant to trade, and that's his. They trade with nearly nothing else. They want to bounce everything, but if you open Merfolk Banzai and then they don't have one drop Diablo, they have only 4 1-drops. If they have the 1-drop, then it's still okay, but if they don't have it, they are nearly lost. Think about lines like Merfolk Banzai into kids on the play. It's oof. I mean, if it's a his, then it won't work, but yeah, everything else. And you don't have to be afraid about some cheap removal spells like Storm Rage on. If they Diablo shift, they can't really Diablo shift and then sing your character away. But what's scary is you've forgotten me. They have forgotten me. That's really scary. And yeah, but sometimes, yeah. Also, sometimes can they high roll really much? But I think in general we are slightly favored. But it's hard to say. What do we have else? The other matchups I think will be played way less than these decks I mentioned. Or did I forget something? I mean, mirror match is always possible. If mirror match plays with Lyle, we are unfavored, of course. But yeah, what can we do? And if we play against Blue Steel, this deck is way better than the old version because they also don't like aggressive starts. Yeah, so I think in overall this deck is well positioned. It's totally reasonable to bring it, and it's a solid choice if you are confident with the deck and don't feel pressured if I say this is my version now, that this is the perfect version. I mean, you can always still have success with Lyle, but This is the version I'm on right now. I think 4 kit are, I don't want to say must, but feel needed against green decks. I would not go down there. You could play 4 crabs. I'm always a 4 crab believer, but yeah, hard to find space. I think also the 4 clarables are the way to go now. Locations felt very good in last days of testing because they punish B-prep turns and are really good into the green decks and into blue steel, and too many matchups where this card is really good. So I would play it. And you could also, I think I would be afraid with only 8 1-drops, so I play an additional 1-drop, but won't change. I think there are cards you can't cut. You can't cut Ursula, you can't cut Rabbit, you can't cut Goat. I wouldn't cut Elsa. And to go less than 3 Ursula big one is also very scary. So I think there are not many flex spots, but the flex spots, you could play no His. I think that's also reasonable. But then I would go up with the 1-drops or something. Or you play Lyles, you go the risk and play more Uninkables. I'm always afraid to go over 12 Uninkables. But yeah. The good thing is I'm not competing there, so I can talk that freely. This is the list I would bring, I'm pretty sure. So if you're not completely sure what you play, maybe you get a little bit inspiration by that. And I wish you all the best. Bring our green purple family honor. There is something on the road in the next set, and there's also something on the road on my channel. I have a new what can I say? A new, oh, I don't know what to say. There's something coming, okay? Next week. So be excited. And yeah, I don't know if I forgot something. Today it was a little bit wild, but I didn't prepare that much now for the video. I just wanted to give you my final conclusion, my final thoughts, what I would bring to Seattle, what I would expect in Seattle. I would expect a lot of red blues. I would expect a lot of green steels. I would expect a lot of red purple. And 2 of these 3 matchups are good. And the other, is most likely a split. So I think this deck is a very good bring. Yeah, I wish every one of you good luck. I hope you enjoy the last DLC of this season, and we'll see us next week in a new video. Hope you liked it. Bye bye and ciao.